Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but we're in the garden today and everything is in full bloom.
All right, Mom, what do we have going on in here?
To this side of the garden, we have our starter flower garden, the first flower garden we ever grew. If you followed in the beginning of the year, we did a video telling y'all that we were going to start a flower farm, and this year's just been a big experiment, but it has been a beautiful experiment. So you can see zinnias, and then we have a bunch of cosmos, and our dahlias are just now starting to bloom.
A good place to start would be the outside of the garden, and then we can take y'all into the vegetable patch, I guess.
So on the outside of our garden, which our garden is a back to Eden style garden, which if you don't know what that is, it basically just means that we use a lot of mulch as our ground covering. And so that's what we see here, and that's what we're going to show you. We've been doing this now for I think 3 years.
Yep.
But this is our marigolds that we plant along the edges. And they're not just for beauty, they actually have a function to try and keep pests away, like hornworms from our tomatoes, and they seem to do a pretty good job. I haven't seen many hornworms this year.
No, not this year.
And they're big and beautiful, and we've actually been able to use those in our flower arrangements we've been selling as well.
What do we have along the outside here,
Oh,
Mama?
and this we're super proud of. What is this, Asher?
Grapes.
Grapes.
Do you know what kind of grapes these are, Asher?
What?
Cynthiana is what these are called.
Yeah, these are Cynthiana grapes. And these are 3 years old. So this is the first year.
I'll show you how big they are.
This is the first year that we've seen them produce anything. So we're very excited.
Follow me.
Follow you? Okay. We do our best to utilize this space. So whenever we did the fencing around it to keep deer and rabbits and things out, we also planted our grapes all along the perimeter of our fence. They are finally putting on this year, so we're super excited.
How big these are, kids?
Oh my goodness. Hey, guess what? I didn't tell you this yesterday, but I didn't realize these are actually green grapes. So we're not waiting for these to turn purple. So if you want to try that, it's got seeds in it, so make sure you spit the seeds out. So Mom, how come these grapes look so damaged, but those grapes on the back look so beautiful? What the heck happened?
We had a storm, and it had a bunch of hail, and it not only took down a bunch of our trees, but it destroyed a lot of our grapes.
This is extremely disappointing because all of these on this side looked so good, and they were huge. And this was year number 1 that we even got any type of crop from them. So when the storm destroyed them, that was quite demoralizing. Are they good?
Yeah, this is the first time I've gotten to come out here and actually try some.
Didn't know until yesterday that some of these were actually ready. So yeah, we're getting to try them for the first time today. So what is this, Mom?
So we have a lot of herbs planted in and around the garden, and this is catnip. This is our first year growing it from seed, and it's done so well, and it's brought in so many pollinators into the garden. As you can see, there's bees everywhere, and I've also been able to use it in floral arrangements. It lasts 7 to 10 days in a vase. So this is actually the front of our garden, and it definitely needs a little weeding, but these are actually flowers that you see as the ground cover. They're just not in bloom right now. And then back along this whole fence line, we have our blueberry bushes, which some of them did produce pretty good this year, these 2 big ones. And these are 3 years old as well. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah.
3 years old. And so we're hoping that at about year 5, we can get more of a harvest, because right now they're really just for the kids while we're picking other things.
So this disaster zone right here is where the kids play while we are in the garden. What is the source of all of our nutrition in the garden, you might ask? What fertilizers do we use? Well, we use the mulch composting and breaking down. We use scraps from the garden as compost, and also our main source of nutrition comes from this girl right here. Hey, pretty girl. We have her rabbit hutch sitting right here by the garden, and she poops and it falls into that container. And we pick that up and spread it all over the garden all the time.
All right, so let's enter into the garden.
And kids, I'll tell you something.
Tell them.
Raspberries are ripe.
Raspberries are ripe?
There
Nuh-uh.
are a couple.
Oh man, look.
This is our second harvest of the year.
Man, yeah. You want one?
One.
Oh man, we got some
Can you share with Callum
some
if we
June
give you
bugs
some
trying
more?
to eat them. Look,
Yeah, they're
we gotta
bad.
come
We need
spray
to
these.
spray.
Oh, they're
There you go.
bad.
Here you go.
Oh, that one's bad.
Throw it down if it's
None of those are bad. Here you go.
But they have white stuff on
It's
it.
okay. Our raspberry patch is a little bit out of hand because I am letting a lot of these shoots grow. The roots spread along the ground and then they spring up shoots everywhere with their own individual root systems that you can then pick up and transplant into a new location. So I'm letting them just kind of spread all over the place, and then this fall I'm going to get these raspberries out of the garden because they're kind of hard to control in here. I'm going to put them on their own trellis somewhere else on the property.
If you walk into the garden, then you have our herb patch, which is definitely out of control. We need to come do some pruning. But I've also done a lot of harvesting in this patch this year. We have 2 big echinacea plants, if I'm saying that right. But the big droopy like flowers, there's one right here. But I've been harvesting it for teas and saving the petals for that. That's why you see no pretty flowers, because they've all been harvested. And then here's our mint, which is crazy. It's like a weed, but the boys love to come and eat it, so it works out good for us. Then we have parsley. We literally just threw out some seed this year, and the parsley grew. We also have a dill plant coming up, and then we have some thyme. We have a ton of tarragon. It's just kind of a big mess, and we're definitely gonna have to do some cleanup come this fall. But right now, we're just gonna let it keep doing its crazy thing.
Asher, what's your favorite herb in the garden? What is that?
Basil.
Basil? You like basil? We haven't even showed them the basil yet.
The basil's the
You sneak
best.
peeker? All right. What else we have? What's this trellis have on it?
This trellis has some straight 8 cucumbers.
And here is catnip, which the bees pollinate.
Yes,
That's
they
right.
do, Ashley.
Good
Good job.
All
All right,
right.
but you can
And what, kids?
We haven't got to the tomatoes yet. Stop giving it away.
Look.
right here we have our
Cucumbers.
cucumbers, like we just said, and there's a bunch growing. It's the straight 8 variety. It looks like they're getting, I think that's powdery mildew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely have powdery mildew. We have had a lot of rain and it's staying really humid, which is a good thing in a way, but for the tomatoes and the cucumbers, they definitely get some powdery mildew on them, which I have yet to treat, but the cucumbers are still growing just fine, so I'm not too concerned about it. All right, what do we got going on over here?
Okay, so this area is our tomato trellis all down this row, in which we grow basil on both sides on the bottom of the trellis.
What kind of basil is this? This is not normal.
No, this is cinnamon basil, so it tastes like normal basil, but it follows up with a little bit of a cinnamon spice.
Callum got into some ants, so we're gonna pause the garden footage for just a minute. Wanted to show you guys who is up here now. I have been busting my tail this week on getting fencing around all around this garden area. We've had some heartbreaking events here on the property with our cows, and pretty much made us decide that we do not want to buy and sell and raise lots of cows. We just want one family milk cow that we can keep closer to us and keep an eye out on all the time. So we have her right here next to the garden now. Sure, what kind of basil is this here?
Lemon.
Lemon basil, do you like it? Can you try it for us? Oh, is it sour?
Not very.
Not very sour?
Not spicy like that one.
Not like the cinnamon one? Okay. Let's go around to this other side and show them the regular basil. What do you think about that basil? You like that one? Is that one a little easier to eat?
Try, Mom.
Yeah,
You
let me
try?
see. It's very good. What do we use it for? What do we like to make with our basil? No, what is it?
What do we make with
Pesto.
Pesto!
That's
Yeah.
right. We've been making lots of pesto
Oh,
with this
man.
basil. It's so good.
And basil at the store is expensive, and pesto is very expensive to make if you buy it all from the store. So
Yeah.
that's why we started growing it ourselves.
We just need some nut trees
Yeah, I know.
to start producing.
We are working on that.
On this next row is our peppers, a bunch of jalapenos because my family can't handle the spice. So there's a bunch of jalapenos, which taste like jalapenos but don't have the heat. This little guy's joining us because unfortunately he has some ant bites. So we're going to try to get through this tour real quickly with the wet little boy that's been playing in the pool.
There's jalapenos and bell peppers.
Bell peppers.
Yes, there are bell peppers.
Oh man, these bell peppers are still little, but they're coming up, aren't they? What do you like better, jalapenos or bell peppers?
Bell peppers.
Bell peppers?
Want to show him a jalapeno?
Yeah, show them what one of those are. Take a big bite. Oh man, not hot at all, huh? What are our favorite cucumbers here on the property, Mama?
They are called suyo long.
Why do we like them?
Because they're prolific and they grow like crazy.
They are massive.
Yeah, they're massive.
We literally last year had one that hid from us because of how thick these leaves get in here. And it was almost the size of the end of a Louisville Slugger baseball bat, and I'm not even kidding. Oh, look at this one. And I'm telling you guys, we did not save these for the video. We picked these every other day.
No, but we're having to give a lot away.
Yeah, they grow like crazy. Look at that one, Asher. That looks like a bazooka. Is that a gun? Look at this one down here. Absolutely massive. One of our favorite things about these cucumbers and this trellis is it's one shady spot for those super hot days during the summers, and it's almost covering the trellis finally. Another cool thing is that versus growing them on the ground, these actually end up growing over the top of the trellis and hanging down like low-hanging fruit and easy to pick. Here's an example right here. Here's another example here. And Asher loves to climb on it. What on earth is this, Mom?
There's some more raspberries.
Lots of raspberries.
But here is our jungle of volunteer tomatoes that we've kind of just experimented with to see how they do growing along the ground. And to be honest, it's not super easy to harvest them, but they do seem to be more prolific than the ones growing up the trellis.
They are growing like crazy.
Yeah.
What, son?
And there's this kind of flower that you can eat.
You can eat.
That is some of our different types of lettuces and spinaches that we let go to seed so that we can use the seeds for next year. This trellis over here is an additional tomato trellis. I think the last thing is what, the strawberry patch?
Yes.
All right. Asher, you want to show them the strawberry patch? Do you like this part, Asher?
Yeah.
Is this your favorite part? Why don't you show them around?
Okay.
We're still getting random strawberries from it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look at that, you found a shade spot too.
This strawberry patch has been wonderful this year, not just because it brought us a ton of strawberries that I've been able to make all sorts of goodies with. We also were able to make, hold on, I'll get him another grape. We were also able to make money off of it because it spreads like crazy, all these little ones, and we were able to sell the little baby plants early in the spring.
Just to show you guys how quickly these things grow and spread, that is our original patch down there, and this year I expanded it and came down this direction with it, and the only thing that was in the center here was something just like this. They run along the ground and then they root themselves. That's how strawberries spread. And once these things make it through the winter, come springtime, you can actually clip these to separate them and pull an entire root system up from just this little bitty old plant. Obviously, it works great. They spread like wildfire. Well, guys and gals, that is it for today's video. Vlog style garden tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Leave us questions in the comments. We'll be sure to answer. Sorry for the crazy kiddos and scattered thoughts and ant bites. But such is life around the farm.
God bless y'all. See y'all on the next one.
Bye.